Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasa Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so we will start from text 33 of the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna Uvacha Yoyam Yogastvaya Proktaha Samyena Madhusudana Etasyaham na pashyami chanchalatvat stitam stiram. Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. Purport: the system of mysticism described by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, beginning with the word Saucho Deshe and ending with Yogi Paramaha, is here being rejected by Arjuna out of a feeling of inability. It is not possible for an ordinary man to leave home and to go to a secluded place in the mountains or jungles to practice yoga in this age of Kali. The present age is characterized by a bitter struggle for a life of short duration. People are not serious about self realization, even by simple practical means, and what to speak of this difficult yoga system, which regulates the mode of living, the manner of sitting, selection of place, and detachment of mind from material engagements. As a practical man, Arjuna thought it was impossible to follow this system of yoga, even though he was favorably endowed in many ways. Okay, we'll read a little more also. He belonged to the royal family and was highly elevated in terms of numerous qualities. He was a great warrior, he had great longevity, and above all, he was the most intimate friend of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And 5,000 years ago, Arjuna had much better facilities than we do now, yet he refused to accept the system of yoga. In fact, we do not find any record in history of his practicing it at any time. Therefore, this system must be considered generally impossible in this age of Kali. Of course, it may be possible for some few rare men, but for people in general, it is an impossible proposal. If this were so 5,000 years ago, then what of the present day? Those who are imitating this yoga system is different in different so-called schools and societies. Although complacent, are certainly wasting their time. They are completely in ignorance of the desired goal. So here we see that Arjuna is rejecting the system of yoga, and he's telling it is impractical or it is not possible for him to do. No, and no, that's what he's mentioning, and this is because the first of all, like they have to leave home and go and select a place, a nice place, and sit down there, and then meditate on the Lord. And so many restrictions are there in this process, and he tells it is little difficult, and that's why this system of yoga, the Ashtanga yoga system, is generally considered not fit to be performed in Kali Yuga especially. Now, actually, this was a method in the Satya Yuga, and in Kali Yuga it is very difficult to perform. Okay, so text 34. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayo riva sudushkaram. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna. and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. Purport: the mind is so strong and obstinate that it sometimes overcomes the intelligence, although the mind is supposed to be subservient to the intelligence. For a man in the practical world who has to fight so many opposing elements, it is certainly very difficult to control the mind. Artificially, one may establish a mental equilibrium towards both friends and enemies, but ultimately, no worldly man can do so, for this is more difficult than controlling the raging wind. In the Vedic literature, Katha Upanishad 1:3 to 4, it is said, Atmanam ratim viddhi shariram ratameva cha buddhim tu saratim viddhi mana pragraham cha indriyani hayanyahur vishayamsteshu gocharan atmendriya mano yuktam bhokte tahur manishanah. So here, this is the graphic picture of the chariot of the body. Atmanam ratim, with the, like, the body is, or the individual passenger in the car of the material body, and then shariram ratam evacha. So the rata is the sharira, and buddhim to saratim with the. So the intelligence is the sarati, and then mana prangam. So this is the rope that's controlling the horses, and indriyani hayanyahur. So the senses are the horses, and vishayan teshu gocharan. So the sense objects are strewn over everywhere, and then the horses, the senses are going behind the sense objects. Atmendriya manoyuktam bhokte tyahur manishinah. So let's see the translation. The individual is the passenger in the car of the material body, and intelligence is the driver. Mind is the driving instrument or the ropes, and then the senses are the horses. The self is thus the enjoyer or sufferer in association of the mind and senses. So it is understood by great thinkers. So intelligence is supposed to be supposed to direct the mind, but the mind is so strong and obstinate that it often overcomes even one's own intelligence, as an acute infection may surpass the efficacy of medicine. Such a strong mind is supposed to be controlled by practice of yoga, but such practice is never practical for a worldly person like Arjuna. And what can we say of the modern man? The simile used here is appropriate. One cannot capture the blowing wind, and it is even more difficult to capture the turbulent wind. The easiest way to control the mind, as suggested by Lord Chaitanya, is chanting Hare Krishna, the great mantra for deliverance, in all humility. The method prescribed is Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo. One must engage one's mind fully in Krishna. Only then will there remain no other engagement to agitate the mind. Right? So it's very nice, like shloka and purport, where we see that though this mind is very, very difficult and turbulent to handle, but then this we have practical experience. So when we properly engage in chanting the holy names of Lord and absorbing ourselves in the sound vibration of the holy names of the Lord, it is very easy to control the mind. Otherwise, the dhyana, the Ashtanga yoga process primarily focuses on the dhyana aspect. So that is very, very difficult. So but then the chanting of the names of the Lord is a prescribed method, so prescribed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Yuga Dharma, Krishna Varnam Tvasha Krishnam, Sango Pangastra Parshadam, Yajnai Sankirtana Praye, Yajantihi Sumedasaha. The intelligent people of this age will take up to this process of chanting Hare Krishna as the means of deliverance, and all other process, the dhyana process, meditation process that was practical in Satya Yuga is impractical now, and then the yajna process, which is practical in Treta Yuga is impractical now, and elaborate temple worship was the practice in this one Dwapar Yuga, and it is also impractical now. Right? So these elements are there, but then our primary element of deliverance is the sound vibration. That's the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, and then we should absorb ourselves in that way. So that is the main thing. So other things may attract us, other things may look like, oh, this is very nice, but then we should know what is prescribed and what will work, even if it is difficult. So we should put our focus on things that is prescribed, and that is what will work in this age of Kali. Okay, text 35. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durvigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grihyate. Okay, Lord Shri Krishna said, O mighty armed, O son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. So Krishna is telling, yeah, this is difficult to control the mind. So one is that process is difficult, the process is impractical, that's accepted. But then the mind is very turbulent. So the mind, there is no option for it. The mind has to be controlled, by some means or others. So if the mind is not controlled, if the mind is not arrested, so then there is no possibility of we practicing any yoga system. That's not possible. Okay, purport. The difficulty of controlling the obstinate mind as expressed by Arjuna is accepted by the personality of Godhead. But at the same time, he suggests that by practice and detachment it is possible. What is that practice? In the present age, no one can observe the strict rules and regulations of placing oneself in a sacred place, focusing the mind on the super soul, restraining the senses and mind, observing celibacy, remaining alone, etc. By the practice of Krishna consciousness, however, one engages in 9 types of devotional service to the Lord. The first and foremost of such devotional engagements is hearing about Krishna. This is very powerful transcendental method of purging the mind of all misgivings. It's very, very important. In fact, in our Bhagavatam readings, we were we were discussing about this particular aspect. The first and foremost of devotional engagements is hearing about Krishna. So this is very, very powerful methodology, and we can see that many of us, we by proper and serious study of the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, we can actually make tremendous advancement, and we can see that the mind can be controlled by this way, right? So this is very powerful transcendental method for purging the mind of all misgivings. Very, very powerful, right? The more one hears about Krishna, the more one becomes enlightened and detached from everything that draws the mind away from Krishna. By detaching the mind from activities not devoted to the Lord, one can very easily learn Vairagya. Vairagya means detachment from matter and engagement of mind and spirit, right? So this is the Vairagya. Vairagya means not just giving up something. So we have to detach ourselves from the material things and then attach ourselves in spiritual things, and we should engage in spiritual things. So externally speaking, we may not have given up everything. So we are still using the mobile phone, we are still using vehicles, we are still using so many things, but then we are not doing using it for our own sense gratification. If we use it for service of the Lord, then it becomes vairagya, right? So vairagya is not just giving up, vairagya is using things in Krishna's service. Anashaktasya vishayan yatarham payunjata nirbandha Krishna sambandha yukta vairagyam uchyate, right? So that is how we have to use anashaktasya vishayan, without attachment to the vishaya material elements, and then yatarham payunjate, understanding that it is Krishna's energy and Krishna's property, and we have to use it in Krishna's service. That is called Yukta Vairagya. That's called real Vairagya. Okay, impersonal spiritual detachment is more difficult than attaching the mind to activities of Krishna. So it's like attaching mind to activities of Krishna is more easy, and then automatically detachment is achieved because the mind cannot be attached to two things. So if it gets attached to Krishna, then automatically detachment is there. But then just getting detached, from material things is very difficult, right? So it is practical because by hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to the Supreme Spirit. This attachment is called Pareshanubhava. Bhaktir Pareshanubhava Viraktir Anyatra Chaisha Trikaye Kakalaha Prapadyamanasya Yatashnatashya Tushti Pushti Shudapayo Nugasha. So this Pareshanubhava, direct experience of the Lord. Krishna is all attractive. And what's the point in like struggling hard to release ourselves from the material attachments? If we hear about Krishna, who is all attractive, automatically we will get attached to him, and then automatically we will get detached from material things, right? So this attachment is called Paresha Anubhava, spiritual satisfaction. It is said, it is just like the feeling of satisfaction a hungry man has for every morsel of food he eats. The more one eats while hungry, the more one feels satisfaction and strength. Similarly, by discharge of devotional service, one feels transcendental satisfaction as the mind becomes detached from material objectives. It is something like curing a disease by expert treatment and appropriate diet. Hearing of transcendental activities of Lord Krishna is therefore expert treatment for the mad mind, and eating the foodstuffs offered to Krishna is the appropriate diet for the suffering patient. This treatment is the process of Krishna consciousness. So we see Prabhupada is so expert. He is just putting it like, very, very nicely. He's just putting it down. No, you can see that. What is a cure of the disease, the material disease that we have? The cure of the material disease that we have is no hearing about Krishna. And then what is the diet? That is no the prasad of Krishna, prasad that is offered to the Lord, no food that is offered to the Lord. So just by taking this prescription of regularly hearing about Krishna and then taking appropriate diet, so we will become very, very properly situated in this whole this one, right? So let's okay. So today we have another program also. So what I'll do is we will just recite our sloka memorization, this one, and then we will get back to we will close the session with that, right? Okay. So let me chant this for 3 times. Right? Savai mana Krishna padara vindayor vacham shivai kunta gunanu varnane karau harer mandira marjanadishu shrutim chakarachyuta satkatodaye mukunda lingalaya darshane drishau tadbritya gatras parashanga sangamam granam cha tatpada saroja saurabe श्रीमत्तुलस्या रसनाम तदर्पिते पादौ हरे क्षेत्रपदानुसर्पणे शिरो हृषिकेशपदाभिवन्दने कामं च दास्येन तु कामकाम्यया यतोत्तमश्लोकजनाश्रया रतिः स वै मनः कृष्णपदारविन्दयोर्वाचां श्रीवैकुण्ठगुणानुवर्णने करौ हरेर्मन्दिरमार्जनादिषु श्रुतिं चकाराच्युतसत्कतोदये मुकुन्दलिङ्गालय दर्शने दृशौ तत्प्रत्यगात्रस्परशाङ्गसङ्गमं ग्रानं च तत्पादसरोजसौरभे श्रीमत्तुलस्या रसनां तदर्पिते पादौ हरे क्षेत्रपदानुसर्पणे शिरौ हृषिकेशपदाभिवन्दने कामं च दास्येन तु कामकाम्यया यतोत्तमश्लोकजनाश्रया रतिः स वै मनः कृष्णपदारविन्दयोर्वाचां श्रीवैकुण्ठगुणानुवर्णने करौ हरेर्मन्दिरमार्जनादिषु श्रुतिं चकाराच्युतसत्कतोदये मुकुन्दलिङ्गालय दर्शने दृशौ तद्भृत्यगात्रस्परशाङ्गसङ्गमं ग्रानं च तत्पादसरोजसौरभे श्रीमत्तुलस्या रसनां तदर्पिते पादौ हरे क्षेत्रपदानुसर्पणे शिरौ हृषिकेशपदाभिवन्दने कामं च दास्येन तु कामकाम्यया यतोत्तमश्लोकजनाश्रया रतिः. Okay. Oh, okay. So the other session is there is some arrangement for the other session. So somebody had asked the Zoom link of ours, but then it is managed. So we can continue. So that means like any one of you would like to try reciting this slokas?
Can I try?
Yes, yes.
Sai manoha Krishna padaravindayo ajama vaikunda gunanu kara harer mandira marjanadivar tim sasakarada satkarodaye mukundalilaalaya darshanatya tadvirtya gotra sparsana sangamam granam jagatra padasaroj saurabhe vimattulasya dasanam ta arpide पदो हरे क्षेत्र पदानुसर्पणे शिरो शिरो ऋषिकेश पदारवन्ददे कामं च दास्य न तु काम्यया यदो स्मलोक यदो यदो श्लोक जनाश्रय दधे.
Okay.
Hare
Um,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you have to practice a little more.
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, good.
Yes. Anyone else would like to try?
Prabhu, can I read, Prabhu?
Yeah, yeah.
Savai mana Krishna padaravindayor vachamsi vaikunta gunanu varne karau hare harer mandra marjanasu shrutim chakra yutasatatote mukunda lingalaya darsane drishau tatpritya gatra sparshendra sangamam granam granam cha tatpada saroja saurabhe श्रीमत्तुलस्या रसनं तदर्पिते पादौ हरे क्षेत्रपादानुसर्पणे शिरो ऋषिकेशपादाभिवन्दने कामं च दश्यनातु कामकाम्या यतो यतो आत्मश्लोक जनाश्रयराते.
Okay. So there is some common mistakes the devotees are making. So this is like Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor Nai. Here only small a is there. So Pada, no, Pa and Pada Nai, it is Pada. So because here big A is there, right? So A dash means big A. So Pada Ravindayor, right? And then Vachamshi, no? So sorry, Vachamshi, Nai, Vachamshi. So here va, small a is there, va, cha, vachamshi, vaikunta. No, ta is like ta, the tongue should be bent for this ta, vaikunta, and gunanu varnane. No, guna anu varnane. So gunanu varnane, right? So here also we see that a big a is there. So we should be like very careful with the pronunciation. So guna, so na, this is whenever this n is dot is there below, we have to bend the tongue, right? So guna, so gunanu varnane. And here also like this is na, the na where we have to bend the tongue, right? And then karau harer mandira marjanadishu, no, marjanadishu, and shrutim chakarachuta cha kara. So this is both are big a's, no, chakarachuta sat katodaye, no. And then mukunda lingalaya darshane drishau. So this is ru. So in Sanskrit, I'll just those who know the this one, I'll just show this thing. Mukunda lingalaya darshane drishau. Hmm. Where is it? Shri. Just a minute, I'll just find it out. Ha. So Mukunda lingalaya darshane dr Dhru. So this is Ru. So this like what is that? I E U U Ru. So that Ru comes. No, that is we have to pronounce that the plus Ru Dhru, right? So Drishav, Drisha. This is Sha. This is that no Sha pronunciation should come here. And then Tad Britya. So again here Ru is there. Tad Britya, Gatra. So this is big A is there, Gatra, and then Sparashenga Sangamam. No, Sparashenga Sangamam. And then Sparasha and Anga. So that becomes Sparashenga. No, Sparashanga Sangamam. Sparshanga Sangamam becomes Sparashenga Sangamam. And then Granam, no, and Pada. So this should not be pronounced as Pada here. So or Pada. No, here we see this is Pada and here it is pada. No, we have to pronounce it like that, pada. And then saroja saurabhe and shrimat. No, this is sh and this is big e, shri. No, shrimat tulasya rasanam tadarpite. No, rasanam, rasanam nahi, this is rasanam. So big a is there again, right? And then padau harehe kshetra padanu sarpane. And then Shiro Rishikesha. No, again, this is E, big E is there. Rishikesha Padabhivandane. No? So this is again, this one is there. Padabhivandane. Kamam cha dasye. Dasye. This is normal sa. And kamam cha dasye. Natu kama kamyaya. Yatotama shloka janashraya ratihi. No? Janashraya ratihi. So like this we have to pronounce. Anyway, no, like when I upload this session, so you can go through this pronunciation carefully, and we can also find this pronunciation in the backside of the Bhagavad Gita, where we will have the what is it, how to pronounce these symbols. And if somebody can read the Devanagari script, that is well and good, so you will not have any confusion at all, so you can very easily pronounce it, and others can actually take use of this thing. That in that way you can manage that, right? So again, we will get back to the session now. Like I was asked to continue. We don't have the next block now, so we will continue now. Okay, so text 36. असंयथात्मना योगो दुष्प्राप इति मे मतिः वश्यात्मना तु यतता शक्यो वाप्तुम् उपायतः. For one whose mind is unbridled, self realization is difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. This is my opinion. So, unbridled. Bridle means what? No, the rope that actually, if a horse is like, put in with the nose ropes and then it is controlled, so then it is called bridled, right? So unbridled, if the mind is not controlled like that, no, it's the mind is not tied with the rope and then fully taken charge of. So self-realization is a difficult work. One cannot do self-realization. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion. So Krishna is telling that if we follow a proper process and then try to control the mind, it is an assured process. We will be able to succeed in this process. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead declares that one who does not accept the proper treatment to detach the mind from material engagement can hardly achieve success in self-realization. Right? Okay. So devotees can put in the chat box, what is the process? What all the process that, many processes are there, especially even in our Bhakti Yoga, the many processes are there. What is the most powerful process to control the mind? No? What is the most powerful process to control the mind? Anybody wants, they can unmute and tell also. What is the most powerful process to control the mind?
Bhakti Bhagwan ka.
Huh?
Bhagwan ka, Bhakti Bhagwan towards.
Okay, Bhakti, okay. So we are discussing in detail in the elements of Bhakti. There is various different elements of Bhakti is there. And amongst them, okay, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra.
That
Okay.
is true. That we are doing daily.
Yeah. So in that also specifically, what is the most important thing? Hearing. No, we have always been
Sravanam. Yes,
aspect.
yes.
And even in the previous purport also we saw that hearing is the, we just highlighted that particular portion, right? So this is very, 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 very important. So we should have this etched in our minds, that hearing the transcendental activities of Krishna is therefore the expert treatment for the bad mind, for the mad mind, right? So this is the powerful process, that we have to listen to the sound vibration of Hare Krishna mantra and nothing else. No, when we focus like that, so then the mind can be controlled very, very easily. There is so much of what is that, when there is options are there, when we can actually do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, and then Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dashyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. The Navavida Bhakti is there, and amongst them we have to have a special focus on this aspect of hearing, right? So that is where the mind can be controlled very, very soon. We have to engage in all the processes of devotional service, but then specifically the hearing process should be very, very solid, right? Even if you are not able to do other processes, no, it's still okay. But then this process is the most powerful process. And we should have the conviction in that. So that's what Krishna is telling here. No, one who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. And we have seen so many times Prabhupada repeats this one, right? So in even in Bhagavatam we saw, and even in this one also we saw that no, we have um, mm, like no, we have this concept again and again repeated, that hearing is the most powerful thing and most important thing, right? And reading is also a form of hearing. No, when we are reading, so it's just recorded hearing. So this is the way of hearing. So it's practically the letters that are imprinted. This is like no sound vibrations, because when you activate them immediately, like no, the sound vibration comes, right? So that's the this one. Okay, so now so there is a chat. This one, when we are in common place, even chanting, uh, listen. Okay, so we cannot listen. So we have to be there in a room, or we have to get up early in the morning before everybody gets up. You know, something we have to do in that way, and then we have to chant.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that we are doing, that morning chanting without any disturbance, we are doing. In the entire day, if we want to chant,
Mhm.
when we are going out, when we are having some other thing, no? So that time when we are chanting, so chanting we cannot stop.
Mm.
So at that time, how can we hear? But that is not
That
possible.
that can just go on parallelly with our daily work, but we have reserved the exclusive time in the morning, so that's very nice.
That is 16 round in the morning. That's we are doing. It's
Mm.
not a problem. But when we are traveling, when we are going
That's
out,
okay. That's okay. That's okay.
acha,
That's
that can be. It's okay for that.
so
Okay,
that
okay.
time, like
Thank.
we have to keep on chanting, and
That's
that's okay.
what. Okay, okay, okay. So that is the thing. Okay, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So when we actually focus during our morning japa time, when that meditation becomes perfect, so even if there is so much of disturbance around, no, still, no, we will be able to hear the holy name, and that's a perfectional stage. In fact, the grand spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master is Ishwara Puri, and his spiritual master is Madhavendra Puri, and he would just to avoid the distraction of people coming to him and asking for blessings and things like that, he would go to busy marketplace and he would sit there and chant, because nobody would care for him. Everybody would be like busy in their market business, and everybody will be like shouting this, that, and all. But that he found to be a very good place for to chant, because he was like beyond all the distractions. He's perfected in his chanting, and he, when the sound vibration of the holy name comes, he cannot think of anything else. No, cheta prangana sangini, no, vijayate sarvendriyanam kritim. So this is what Rupa Goswami says, that when the sound vibration comes of Krishna, immediately like my senses become inert and they're not able to do anything else, right? So that's the this one in the advanced stages it comes. So but when we are practicing our morning chanting very nicely, then over a period of time, so we will become very, whenever the name of the Lord is uttered, immediately our focus will shift there, right? So that's the perfection that we will get. So hearing process is very important. So in small like especially the morning chanting, so when we are trying to put our focus on, we are not moving anywhere, we are just there in one place, and then we are trying to focus and struggling maybe, or like if you are able to do, and sometimes we are able to do, sometimes we are not able to, whatever it is. But if we are very, very solidly practicing this morning chanting, then gradually we will become very, very perfect in that, and then throughout the day we will be able to have focus, even if so many things are going around, right? Okay, so trying to practice yoga while engaging the mind in material enjoyment is like trying to ignite fire while pouring water on it. Yoga practice without mental control is a waste of time. Such a show of yoga may be materially lucrative, but it is useless as far as spiritual realization is concerned. Therefore, one must control the mind by engaging it constantly in transcendental loving service of the Lord. Unless one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, he cannot steadily control the mind. A Krishna conscious person easily achieves the result of yoga practice without separate endeavor. But a yoga practitioner cannot achieve success without becoming Krishna conscious. So we see that any yoga practice, for it to reach its perfection, no, it requires Krishna consciousness. It requires bhakti. Without bhakti, no yoga process can reach its perfection. No karma yoga. Without Krishna, there cannot be any karma yoga. There should be a tinge of bhakti in it. And then jnana yoga and dhyana yoga, everything requires a tinge of bhakti. That is when that yoga process becomes successful. And Krishna consciousness is a standalone process, or bhakti is a standalone process where it can just give its result without the support of karma, jnana, and dhyana. No, it can just by the process of hearing, just by the process of offering the flowers at the lotus feet of the Lord, just by the process of offering an archana to the Lord, and just by the process of offering prayers to the Lord. It's so very powerful. No, nothing else, no other support is required. This itself can take us to the perfection of this one. So in that way, the bhakti yoga process or Krishna consciousness is very very powerful. And the all the benefits of the yoga system is automatically achieved. What is the benefit of karma yoga? To get transcendental knowledge. That is achieved automatically. Because in Krishna consciousness from day one, we are told that Krishna is the Lord and we are his servant and we have to engage in his service. So that's transcendental knowledge. That's immediately got. A karma yogi gets, after a long time of working in a regulated way, he gets this knowledge, and that is immediately available in Krishna consciousness. And then practically we are engaged in that way, right? So we are engaged in the service of the Lord from the day one. And then this one, jnana yoga, what's the benefit they get? Liberation. They start with the transcendental knowledge, and then the end result is liberation for jnana yogis, and that is automatically achieved. Ihayasha hare dasya karmana manasagira nikilashva api avastasu jivan muktasya uchyate. One who has already been engaged in the service of the Lord, and save and accept service of the Lord, nothing else is there in his life, so he's already liberated. What's the point of getting liberation separately? Muktir hitva anyata rupam swarupena vyavastitihi. Mukti means to give up other rupas, other forms, and to be situated in swarupa. And what's one swarupa? Is to be a servant of the Lord. And a devotee of the Lord is throughout the day he's rendering service of the Lord. So automatically achieved. The goal of jnana yoga is automatically achieved. And dhyana is to put the focus on the form of the Lord and do all this Ashtanga yoga process and meditate and things like that. And that process is automatically achieved in Krishna consciousness, because a devotee is thinking about what to offer for Krishna, what to cook for Krishna, and how to render the service to Krishna. And here our devotees are packing Bhagavad Gita and sending it by courier. So thinking about that, it's like meditation. So that's the meditation. The service of the Lord is non different from the Lord. So, and that's meditation. So in that way, dhyana yoga, the goal of dhyana yoga, that's meditation and later on liberation, that is also easily achieved in Krishna consciousness, right? So this is the most powerful process, and this process purifies us like anything. This very very fast forward, it purifies us. Okay, text 37. Arjuna vacha ayati ayati hi shraddha yopheto yoga chalati manasah aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim Krishna gacchati. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what is the destination of an unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism? Right. So here Arjuna is asking, okay, the process seems to be a little difficult. So I just want to be safe that, what is the position of a person who doesn't complete it? The yoga process, what will happen to him? He has given up his material enjoyment and came to the yoga process, and he did not achieve perfection there. And other people are living so nicely, doing full sense gratification, and I should not eat onion garlic, and I should not eat this, eat that. I should eat only prasadam. I cannot go to the hotels and things like that. So I cannot go to films. I cannot do like frivolous sports and things like that. So all those things I have given up. I cannot see, YouTube, so many things are there. Netflix, so many things are there. So many serials are there. I cannot see any of them because I want to be Krishna conscious. I want to see and hear only about subject matter of Krishna or things related to Krishna. So then, no, what's it like? No, I lost my material life. No, other people are seemingly enjoying the material life. And if I don't achieve perfection here, so then I'm neither there nor here. What's my this one? So Arjuna is like concerned. He's asking this question: what will happen to such a person, right? So let's see this one. Let's see how Krishna answers this. Uh, the purport of this: the path of self-realization is mysticism, or mysticism is described in Bhagavad Gita. The basic principle of self-realization is knowledge that the living entity is not this material body, but that he is different from it, and that his happiness is in eternal life, bliss, and knowledge. So this is the basic knowledge. This is the very, very basic sense of jnana, is that I am a part and parcel of the Lord. I am, no, basically like I am a spirit soul and not the material body. No, I am Satchidananda. So that is like the basic first step of knowledge, no, transcendental knowledge. And then these are transcendental beyond both body and mind. Self-realization is sought by the path of knowledge, by the practice of eightfold system, or by bhakti yoga. No, self-realization either you can get by this Ashtanga yoga, or by bhakti yoga, or by other processes also. But then no, the heights to which we can go, that differs from process to process. In each of these processes, one has to realize the constitutional position of the living entity, his relationship with God, and the activities whereby he can re-establish the lost link and achieve the highest perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness. So in each of the yoga processes, what it is trying to do to us, what is jnana yoga, what is karma yoga, what is this bhakti yoga and things like that, what it is actually trying to do to us, it is just trying to clarify our position. No, we are not this material bodies, we are spirit soul, and not just spirit soul, we are part and parcel of the Lord. No, not just part and parcel of the Lord, we are meant to render service to the Lord. And not just that, the Lord is very, very wonderful person. He is such an amazing person that he is staying as Paramatma with us, and he has been fulfilling the desires of all our desires since time immemorial. And then he has his own personal abode and personal form, and that is very, very amazingly sweet. And he's so his amazing qualities and things like that. So this is transcendental knowledge, increasingly in its confidentiality, and increasing in its in its perfection. So the last stage of perfection is complete Krishna consciousness, right? So that is the last stage of perfection of knowledge. And this is what every yoga system is trying to put us. Every yoga system is trying to take us out of ignorance and put us in a in a bright clear place where we can see things for clarity, right? So in this material world, we are always kept on ignorance. So I'm just thinking I'm a man, I'm so and so years old, and then I have such and such qualification, and these are my strength and weakness, and this is all about one lifetime, that's all. And after I lose my body, what am I going to be in the next life? Ignorance, I don't know. And what I was before, ignorance, I don't know. And then what is going to happen tomorrow? Ignorance, I don't know. Everything is ignorance, in this world. No, I don't know so many things, right? So I know that old age will come, but I don't know how it will be, right? So again, ignorance. So this Krishna consciousness or any of the yoga system that we practice is trying to put us into light where we can see things for clarity, and we can experience things with perfect clarity, and the ignorance will be completely gone, and things will become predictable, things will become very clear, right? So that's what all of the yoga systems are trying to do for us, to reestablish our lost link, with the Supreme Lord, right? So that's this one of yoga. Okay, so let's continue. Following any of the above mentioned three methods, one is sure to reach the supreme goal sooner or later. So sooner means bhakti yoga, like very, very soon we can get to the Lord. Or later means jnana yoga and dhyana yoga. These processes, like Krishna himself mentions, bahunam janmanam ante jnanamam mam prapadyate. After many, many lifetimes, a jnani may come to me, right? So, but then bhakti yoga immediately, a devotee can reach the Lord. So this was asserted by Lord in second chapter. Even a little endeavor on the transcendental path offers a great hope for deliverance Out of these three methods, the path of Bhakti Yoga is especially suitable for this age because it is the most direct method of God realization. To be doubly assured, Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna to confirm his former statement. One may sincerely accept the path of self realization, but the process of cultivation, knowledge, and the practice of Eightfold Yoga system are generally very difficult for this age. Therefore, despite constant endeavor, one may fail for many reasons. First of all, one may not be sufficiently serious about following the process. To pursue the transcendental path is more or less to declare war on the illusory energy. Now, consequently, whenever a person tries to escape the clutches of illusory energy, she tries to defeat the practitioner by various allurements. No, so the material energy has two energies. So one is called avarnatmika shakti. Avarnatmika means just to put people onto sleep. So mass of the people are just surrendered to the material energy. No, she doesn't have much to do with them. And the devotees of the Lord, they are trying to get out of the material energy. And what the material energy will do? No, she will do a red carpet send off or something like that. No, she's going to pull us down, right? So that is called prakshapatmika shakti. That's the pulling potency of the material energy. The moment we try to do something serious about Krishna consciousness, immediately material energy will pull us down. No, and nobody can succeed in the path of Krishna consciousness until unless he has faced sufficient turbulence in his life, right? So that is all going to come, right? So it is going to be there. Now, if it is not now, it's definitely going to come. So we see that devotees of Vrindavan, they are such elevated personalities. They have got the opportunity after many many lifetimes. They have got the opportunity to take birth in the holy land of Vrindavan. Even there is test. The Agasur comes, Bakasur comes, Putana comes, and then Trinavrata, Keshi, and so many demons come. And if somebody thinks that, oh, this is too much to be with Krishna, no, let me shift out of Vrindavan, then gone, finished. So turbulence is going to be there. And even amidst all this turbulence, if we catch hold of the lotus feet of Krishna, we will succeed in the process. And Krishna is going to be very, very merciful to us. And he is going to take care of everything. We are not going to handle any problem. The only thing is, we have to catch hold of the lotus feet of Krishna at any point, right? So, a conditioned soul is already allured by modes of material nature, and there is every chance of being allured again, even while performing transcendental disciplines. This is called yoga chalati manashaha, the deviation from the transcendental path. So, Arjuna is inquisitive to know the results of deviation from the path of self realization. Okay, so with this, we will stop here. We will again meet tomorrow and discuss further. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada Book Marathon ki jai. Hare Krishna.